Hey, Hank and Joanna, do you believe it? 50 years? Does everybody know Hank and Joanna are right over there? Those two. A middle-aged couple, 50 years married, that's incredible. It's unbelievable. A lot of people don't make it, Hank. Oh, working? I have to make some notes. I have to make some notes because I am senile. And you know, a lot of people don't realize that they're senile, but I know I'm senile. You know?
I do too.
I'll give you an example. Wednesday night, we're golfing at Gannon in our league, and they had a, what do you call it, Ralph?
Tournament.
A tournament. The place is mobbed, you know. To get a parking space, if you can't get one up front, you gotta walk a mile way down by the Great Lynn Woods. So I'm driving around up front, trying to look for a space, and I see a guy going to his front, and I think he's gonna leave. So I drive over to him, and I put the window down, and I said, "Hey, you leaving?" And he says, "Drop me a partner, you stupid bastard." What the hell's wrong with you?
Hey, I told you not to tell anybody that.
So I said, never mind. Anyway, before we get into Hank and Joanna, I want to congratulate Papa Ralph and Nana. Your third grandchild yesterday, little Mark, yesterday, 10 pounds, 6 ounces, which is a puny little baby by my standards. Now we're worried about him, you know. Does he need an incubator? As an example, Davey's nose was 8 pounds by itself. And then Kyle had something that weighed 5 pounds. Anyway, Hank and Joanna, unbelievable, 50 years.
We're going to talk about them now?
I just want to give you a little background on Hank and Joanna, you know. Judy and I were dating, and Joanna was Judy's best friend, and like a Friday night date, we'd go over to Hank and Joanna's mother and father, Catherine and Frank. They're great, wonderful people. And you know, we bring 3 GIQs over. Now, for you young guys, a giant imperial quart. It's 40 cents. 40 ounces, 40 cents. You know? So, you know, we'd sit there and talk and play cards. We had a ball every Friday night. And of course, we went through the 3 GIQs pretty quick. So we drank all of Frank and Catherine's beer. And that was great. A buck and a half for Friday night day. So anyways, where am I? Well, I gotta get back to Hank for a minute, you know. So, you know, we had a great time over there. And, you know, Hank meanwhile is at home and wondering what he's going to do with the rest of his life. And, he really didn't want to do anything, but my father was putting pressure on him. So, you know, Doris was working as a diesel fitter at the time. she offered to teach Hank to trade, but he said that was too high tech for him. So hey, my father got a job down the GE with Hank, and for about 3 years, you know, my father lived through the Depression, so, you know, they started work at 7 o'clock, and my father had to be there 5:45 every morning, before the guy opened the gate. Hank and my father went to work every day. Hank drove with my father for about 3 years. They never said a word to each other. So, anyways, you know, Judy and I get married, and Hank was my best man. Judy was,
Your wife.
Judy was, Joanna was a bridesmaid, you know, and they started dating, you know, and, you know, they were getting along great, you know, so, let me look at my notes.
So they got married, right?
Oh, so, you know, like I used to do with Hank when we brought a girl home to meet my mother and father. You know, we had a couch with a big hole in it and one seat, and we used to call it Fuzz. The Fuzz was and Davey loved the Fuzz. He'd stick it in his ear and his nose. So when we brought a date home to meet Mom and Dad, Davey, you know, had to sit on the hole of the couch for like 4 hours, like a frozen turkey, sat there for 4 hours, you know what I mean? And that was his job. And he did a great job with it, you know? And the girls never even suspected there was a hole in that couch. So anyways, Hank and Joanna were getting serious, and I told Hank, you know, I said, Hank, you know, Joanna, you know, could be a perfect wife for you. She's a great girl, you know. And I said, you know, there's some other good things about it. I said, you know, number one, you get a lot of cheap dates. You get on Friday night at Catherine and Frank. With 3 GIQs, you know. Hey, it costs $1.50 for a day. And I said, you know, you're also going to save a lot of money by getting married as opposed to staying home, because when we'd come home after we went out, Hank, you remember these years, we'd throw all our change and bills on top of our 4-drawer bureau for the 5-wheeler. And we wake up in the morning and Ralph Town Davey had stolen all our money. You know, and we never caught on, you know. So anyways, they got married, and 50 years later, we're all here celebrating it, you know. You know. It wasn't all perfect, you know. They had a few arguments over the years, you know. But Hank was always very proud and telling me, you know, that he always got the last word. And yes, dear. And just an off note is, Hank and Joanna decided early in life that their goal would be to beat the Guinness Book of Records on buying houses. When we first got married, I mean, me and Hank and Joanna and Judy, you know, we lived a couple of houses away from each other. We had all our kids that were young and all that. Then Hank got real highbrow, so that he had to move to North Reading to get away from the riffraff. Doing a country club, North Reading, you know, couldn't be bothered, you know, with the Lynn guys anymore, you know. And then they moved to Florida and they bought about 18 houses. They moved back and forth from Georgia to Florida, back and forth, and I think they're zoning in on the house record right now. But they're a great couple, great brother, great sister-in-law, and we wish you many years more of happiness.